Let's have some fun. Listen. The rhetorical rhetoric that I peddle is complex beyond Oedipus. I'm on the precipice of greatness. Don't worry, later on I'ma break it down in layman's terms of endearment. Musical muses, the new cube is complicated as rubric still.
Well, you know, about 2007. Well, let me just start with, blogs started popping up around like 05, 06, maybe real late 04. And, I would read them heavily because, I've been a hip hop junkie for 22, 23 years. So, I liked how hip hop journalism had kind of moved from the sites like allhiphop.com or hiphopdx or whatever the sites were around them into more personalized views. So it wasn't just, news stories, but people were giving their personal opinions on things. So I kind of like blogs, so I'd read them religiously, all of them. At that time, I noticed they were doing a lot of stuff, but it was like, I can do this. If not, I can do this as good as them, if not better. And I was going to shows in Chicago, and I was going to these events, and there was this whole scene here that was like popping, but it was unknown to the outside world. Like, people outside of Chicago didn't know about it. And, at that time, if you weren't Twista, Kanye, Common, or Lupe, you weren't getting any love from the blogs or the media. So I'm like, well, let me start something to showcase these people. And I'm going to these events and I'm seeing all this really great stuff and nobody's documenting it. Let me be the person to document it. So, from then on, it was just an idea, and it blossomed from there. Well, when I first started, obviously there weren't any blogs, like hip hop blogs here, so a lot of people didn't know, even what I was talking about. So when I went and I got like 1,000 business cards printed up, like at some bogus website, like get 1,000 cards for $70 or something like that. So I just printed up and I would go to every event, big, small, anything from a hole in the wall spot to a big concert. And I would just walk around and pass out my card everybody had. I got this website, check it out. Send me music. And at the time, people were like, "What? You want me to send you my music for free? What is wrong with you? What is a blog? What is this?" And then, I would hit people up through MySpace, Facebook, any kind of avenue that I could. This is before Twitter even. So any avenue that I could get in touch with rappers, I would, and I would just go out because initially nobody was reaching out to me. Nobody knew what it was. So I, had to do that. I had to do the groundwork and get out and do all that stuff. So, it wasn't until like 6 months in did people start reaching out. But even a couple years in, I still had to reach out to people to get them on the site. And luckily now that's taken care of itself. But it was tough first starting out. Well, it was one of those things like who's this white kid showing up on the scene and trying to push his website and document rap or whatever, Chicago hip hop. But it was one of those things where I knew what I was talking about. Like, if I was just some dude out here that didn't respect the culture, didn't respect the art form, then, nobody was going to embrace me. So I had to earn people's respect because nobody knew me. So I had to come in and, work that much harder and prove myself that much more. So, I was consistent, I was reliable, and, I tried to make my commentary, my writing funny or witty or whatever. So, it was just I wouldn't say it was an uphill battle, but I definitely had to earn people's respect. Because it's, definitely, around here, it's definitely not given to you. The comment section used to be juking. I mean, it used to be out of control, but it got to be so out of control that it wasn't even fun anymore. And things would get personal, like, as big as Chicago is, the scene, the hip hop scene is small and everybody knows each other. So people started getting personal, like putting stuff about people's sisters and girls and I banged your mom, like just crazy personal stuff. And I'm like, man, this is not good. So when I relaunched the site about 1.5 years ago, I made it so you didn't have to because before it was just anonymous commenters. So you could just get them, you didn't have to take any effort. You could just go on there and just slander people anonymously. And then when I relaunched the site, and this isn't because I consciously did it, but eventually I did. I was on Blogspot, and on Blogspot you could do the anonymous thing. But then I relaunched on WordPress, and on WordPress you have to at least put in a fake email address or a fake name. And you know, with that, a lot of that comments died down. Now, sometimes it'll pop off and it'll get crazy in the comments, but it has died down a lot. But it's good because I like that now, because it doesn't get so slanderous and it's not so outrageous. Like, you know, you can put in a fake email address and a fake name, which people do, but you know, in order to hate, you got to take an extra step. So I think it's been good. You know, it's been constructive, and I think it's been a positive change. Like, if you're doing it and you don't think about it, so it's like I don't sit and reflect on it, because I can always be better. It's like, all right, I'm doing this and this is going well, but you know, I got to work extra hard because there's always people that want to take my spot or do what I'm doing, so I have to be that much better and work that much harder. So, you know, when you're in the trenches doing this, like, I don't even think about it. I don't even like take time to stop and reflect, because in my opinion, I haven't made it yet. I still have a long way to go. So, you know, it's great that people respect it and like me and like the site, and you know, other outlets reach back to me. You know, bigger outlets from New York reach out to me and, you know, want my opinion on stuff. It's good. It's just, you know, I'm just happy that it's done this, because when I started it, like, it was really just a hobby. I didn't anticipate it being like this. I just thought I was gonna write it, and you know, if 80 people a week read it, you know, I'd be happy. So I never anticipated it to be like this. So it's just, it's completely overwhelming, but you know, I'm very thankful for it. It is what it is. Like, if you got to say something like that, then you know, I don't need to say that. Like, I'm not in it. Like, I don't really, you know, look at anybody as my competition. I don't really worry about that. And I try not to worry about what other sites are doing, you know, locally or what's going on, because that just takes away from my goal and what I'm doing. So, you know, I don't play into that stuff. You know, people can say whatever they want, but it is what it is. Yeah. I think it's good. I mean, you know, obviously, imitation is a sincerest form of flattery. So if people like that, like, as you see, not a lot of other cities have this. Like, I don't know of any other cities really that have a site just dedicated to that city, especially ones that are making like the Power 30 of the source, which I just did. Like, you know, to be able to be on a list with I'm just I'm a hyper local blog, and everybody else on the list wasn't. They're national and you know, cover everything. But it's one of these things where, you know, I don't really worry about what these other sites are doing. Like, here's the blueprint, this is what I did, it's documented what I've done, you can see what I've done now, do it better. If you can do it better, do it. You know, it takes years to build this. Like, it's not just something that you can start, you know, and then overnight it's gonna take off. Like, I've worked years to build my relationships with people and partnerships and strategic partnerships, and you know, meet people like you and be out there. So, you know, I've paid my dues, and you know, you can see what I've done and take it. Like, you know, if you think that you can compete and you want to do it, that's fine. But you know, I welcome the competition. I think it's fun, and if people like doing it, you know, I'm not mad. It uplifts the scene, and you know, it gives other people a chance to, you know, enjoy themselves and express themselves, and then that's fine. It starts to get crazy, and like, as you know, you try to grow a business or grow a company, you know, a media company, whatever, like, you have to start diversifying yourself and getting out there and do other things. So it got too much for me to just do everything. So, you know, I have to take meetings, or I'm gonna be gone, I'm going here, I'm going there. I need somebody to look, you know, to look out for what's going on. And you know, I started having interns or writers come on, like, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, but most of them weren't worth a shit. Like, you hire people, they like send you their resume and, you know, really want to work hard and do this and do that. And then when it comes down to it, they don't want to work. You know, they'll do like 1 post a week, or like, I'm too busy, I can't do it. But they want to reap the benefits, whether it, you know, they want to go to the shows and get, you know, access to the shows and do stuff like that, but they don't want to, you know, toe the line. So, you know, I've had some good people that have stuck with me, you know, number one being Ty Kidd, who, you know, is basically my right-hand man, and he really makes the wheels turn on the site now. Like, he's by far the best, you know. And I'm thankful for everybody that's ever helped me, but he's just, you know, he's exactly what I was looking for, and he does a great job. So I'm just thankful to have him, you know, be part of the team. Yeah, I think it's starting to get in a better place. You know, when I first started the site, the city was very, you know, it was segregated. You know, West Side dudes weren't really rapping with South Side dudes, and I feel like not just because of me, but just because of technology, the internet, Twitter, and everything. Because I can't take credit for that, but just with the advent of all these things, it's been a lot easier for people to get together and work together. So I think it's brought people together and it's helped the scene. Now, nationally, I think we should be way more respected than we are. You know, we had a pretty good run in 2004. You know, after Ye blew and Twista had his resurgence, like labels were coming here and offering everybody deals. Like, you know, Mickey got a deal, Ryan Fest got a deal, LEP got a deal. Like, people were getting deals at that point. And there was a lot of light. Bump J got a deal. There was a lot of light on Chicago at the time. And then, you know, those people came through, Lupe went through, and then it was just kind of stagnant. Like, you know, okay, well, these guys aren't Kanye, but they were equally as dope, and they should have got the push, but they didn't get the push for whatever reason. So now, luckily, with the internet and everything, everybody, these independent artists have been able to pop up and, you know, get a following and tour and do all this and that. You know, as you can see what LEP's doing right now. I mean, they're killing it right now. They're on fire. So, you know, I think that artists should look at what they've done and try to, you know, not emulate it, but here's the blueprint that infrared music has done to get where they are. This is what you should do in this new, you know, technology age, you know, because the last people that got deals, you know, what was that, you know, that whole resurgence in 04, 05, there weren't blogs then. There was nothing like this. You know, there wasn't even like really YouTube then. So, you know, I like the do-it-yourself approach, and it's helping a lot of people, but we're still lagging behind the rest of the country. Like, you look at the XXL covers, we should have somebody on there every year. Now, is that because we're in the Midwest and people overlook us? Yes and no, but if people are coming up that are so undeniable, then it shouldn't be a problem. We should be getting these looks, but, you know, I think we got some kids right now that are poised to do big things. Hopefully, I mean, as long as, you know, the right ears can listen to them, you know, everybody from King Louie to Rocky Fresh to YP, you know, there's a lot of these new guys that are popping up that hopefully will get that exposure and get that look, because they're doing good stuff. They're making music and people are paying attention to them. It's just, you know, we want the rest of the country to do it, and, you know, hopefully somebody will break through on that level very soon. Definitely expanded to do more, you know, corporate partnerships, branding with various companies. Like, you know, I just did an event with Common, Derrick Rose, and Adidas, more stuff like that. So just getting involved in doing, you know, different events for people, free events for people to come out to and enjoy themselves, events for the kids. You know, I don't know if I had any interest in ever doing a label, but people have talked to me about that. You know, it'd have to be the right thing. But, you know, just to keep growing, like keep on the right path that I'm doing right now and just keep expanding and keep growing and, you know, just try to leave my stamp everywhere I could and you know, show Chicago in a good light.
Wowzers.